All right, well, once again, not a bad day in the market. Still well positioned for bullishness. Two big days coming up tomorrow and Friday. I will talk about those days and how it could impact what we have coming up between Trump tariffs and the labor market reports. I'm also going to give an update on those penny stocks because, my gosh, out of the best penny stocks to buy now, they are just smashing it with the 6 that I've chosen for you. I should say 5 out of 6 because one of them is, well, it tried to impress today, but honestly, I threatened to bump it off the list. We'll see that when we get there. If you guys want to see more of these analyses and also my technicals, by the way, I'll tell you later how you can access the Discord and how you can use the code word doctor to save you 50% off your first month's sign up. In the meantime, though, I do want to get into the charts in this. As usual, kick things off with the indices and then or ETFs that track them, and then we'll move over into the penny stock updates that are on that for you. So here we go. So for this candle, not a bad candle, still a bit of a bullish candle, if you will, at least that we closed up today, opened up, sold off a little bit, and then closed up above the previous close. Not a bad thing to see, but still a little bit of indecision, a little bit of hem hawing. Not a bad spot though. So closing up today about 0.25%, a little bit over that one. And like I said, the moving averages I talked about in my previous video, absolutely perfect for right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see us down around this support by the end of Thursday, which is tomorrow's market day, or even up at this right at about 533. Either one is going to put us in that spot of indecision. Do we blast off towards all-time highs, or do we settle back down to support? Or do we look down here where we're sitting on support and it's like, okay, well, does support hold, or do we fall through and return back to the 513? Or are we able to test out that next ceiling that comes out for us for QQQ? Like I said, I think we're going to land on the end of the market day Thursday at an interesting position leading into non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. Trump tariff news aside, which June 5th is that first date, June 9th is the next date, which should be the updates to the appeals process that we see if the appeal is upheld, tariffs stay in place, or if the appeal gets rejected, and then we find out whether or not, hopefully we find out sometime soon with those submissions that are due on the 5th and the 9th. Hopefully we get more color commentary on that to let us know what exactly to expect. Are tariffs out the window? Because if so, market's probably going to go bonkers over that. SPY, so we got to hold 596. And here you can see a little bit more of that hesitation taking place as we sold right back down to that support, but it is holding as support right now. That is a good sign to watch and see. It didn't sell back down below it. We're above all the moving averages that I have on here, the 5, the 13, the 20, the 200, the 50, EMA, SMA, you name it. And if we take down the EMAs, well, the 50, there it is, 50 SMA is kind of lagging behind, but man, it's curving up. It wants to catch up to that 200 days so darn badly, give us that golden cross scenario, and we absolutely could get there under the right conditions, and we just might have it. Initial jobless claims, by the way, are also tomorrow. We'll be watching that, especially continuing jobless claims, to see if we keep on inching higher on that one. Remember, the market is trying to give the hairy eyeball to that whole recession where it'd be like, come on, really? Recession now? Are you serious? Because in the past, we were looking pretty darn closely at it, especially when we got that negative print for Q1 GDP, and we didn't know what to expect for Q2. So now that we're getting good signs from Q2, which by the way is like 4.6% as per the Atlanta Fed GDP now, we should be in good shape for that right now recession is looking like it's in the rearview mirror, according to the reports that we're getting, according to the market action that we have taking place. Moving over to IWM, there's the inverse head and shoulders. I'm going to keep on talking about it until we either confirm it or until we fall apart on this thing. Either way, but the 20 is above the 50, good. We're still down below the 200, which is still at about 215. That's going to be quite a wall for us to climb. We'll probably hit it, get rejected, and then blast off if we're going to go in that way. If not, tumble back down to the 20, maybe retest the 50, and that depends on what risk environment we find ourselves in. I still think that June, by the way, could be wildly bullish for us. So guys, I'm about to get into the penny stocks for this. Now, mind you, the market bias, I start with the indices, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the Russell 2000 stocks, because they do a lot to inform us on what the market sentiment is, and that can also set the environment that we find ourselves for risk environments, such as with the penny stocks, even though they can react pretty big to manipulation depending on how small the market cap is, and then they can also respond in outsized ways to what we have in the macro environment and with the market bias. So that's why I put it there. And you guys, if you want more of my analyses, can find it using the link in the description for the Discord. Use code word doctor with the earner tier. When you sign up, you get unrestricted access to everything the Discord has to offer its community members. So we have the bread bot, which can tell you the big moves are coming to some of your favorite plays, up or down, and then using options, you can play either direction. I use options all the time. We'll say about options and how you can learn about them in a moment here. AI tools, advanced charting tools, and a community of thousands of members and a whole team of people, a panel experts. Stockmo, personal friend of mine, great guy, known him for the past 17 years, and I've teamed up with him in this Discord along with the other panel experts to help support you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolios by sharing the knowledge and information and news and trades with you that we know of and that we can share with you over there. Come on over and join us. Code word doctor when you sign up for that earner tier. Going to give him that 50% discount off your first month sign up. Also, if you want to learn how to trade options, learn how to understand and do technical analysis, learn how to trade using technicals like the bread recipe, which is taught during a technical analysis course. Stockmo, Mrs. Mo have put some courses together through Stockmo Academy. They shared out a link to me that I can share with you, and the code word doctor gets you massive savings on that if you bundled the two courses, which, by the way, I have my earned doctorate in education, a master's degree in instructional technology. I am professionally trained and attuned to doing curriculum just like what you find in these courses. And I can tell you there's not a thing I would change because they are absolutely top notch and they are invaluable to the people who go there and study them and learn from them small, easy to digest pieces. Yours cheaper with the code word doctor. And if you bundle them, that's where you're getting the best savings along with that code word. Guys, let's get into the penny stocks. So penny stocks on here for you. Let's start off with PacBio. So PacBio, because this is the worst performer today, closing at about almost 2% down, 1.9% down. I gotta say though, this trend line, man, we're trying to get above that trend line from this descending wedge pattern. If we hit that, we can hit this price target of 216 from the descending wedge pattern. What do we see when we look more closely at this? Well, what you can see is the 5 and the 13, which are green and yellow here. The 5 is almost crossing the 13. I'll take down the candles for a moment so that you guys can see just the lines that are on here. We need to get that 5 to cross up over the 13. That's a bullish sign. If we get it, we also need the RSI to finally stay up above 50. So right now we're still early. This play is still one that should be watched for it to be activated. And you see this big red arrow on your screen as well. And that's because I said that we need to have this, meaning the 50 EMA, also as support. And we also have some previous resistance at $1.16, and today where we closed was at $1.03. So this one, like I said, still early on, and let me bring the candles back so that we can see it. The price action is above the moving averages. That's exactly what you want to see. These high wicks show that selling pressure. So we need to get the RSI moving. We need the momentum to be there. That volume that we saw back on the 28th, we want some volume to return after some of this hem-hawing and hesitation. And we really, really, really want to get that 50-day EMA as support. That's really going to be the big thing to watch for. Moving into QSI, down about 0.5%, a little over that today. Big old red wick, tail off that thing, showing that we have some buying pressure coming in, staying up above the 5 and 13, staying inside of this support line that we have here, and also staying in between support and resistance at $1.72 and $1.81. We got to break above $1.81 and actually sit on top of it. You can see the last time that we did, and that was great for us. We need the strength to come back to the quantum stocks as well. And honestly, if we look at IonQ, for example, well, and like I said, this is about penny stocks, but just real quick, look at the tails that we're getting on IonQ. This one could be turning around. We got the 4 days of rest on this one. The 5 is above the 13, might cross down over it, could signal some bearishness. We're going to have to watch for that, but this could move for us. IonQ can move for us, and if it does, QSI is likely going to benefit in an outsized manner. It's why I have it on here, my best penny stocks to buy now. The next one is Beam, and as we look at Beam, B-E-E-M, you can see the trend line that I have here, and I said we need to hold this. It's getting close to being kicked off my list. If it breaks this support line, and today, man, it messed around a little bit, then I was like, you know what, I better get myself into shape here if I want to stay on this list of the best penny stocks to buy now. It's by far the most bearish looking one that I have that doesn't want to give up yet. Maybe it's the little train that could keep on chugging along, little guy. You got this. You can do it. I believe in you. But it does have to get up above those moving averages. If it can't get above those moving averages, if it breaks down below the support line, I'll call this officially dead in the water. I'll give up on it. I'll kick it right off my list. OCGN, OCGN. This one's really trying to win my favor. It's already on my best penny stocks to buy now. We had some hesitation in here. Let me take down some of these lines so we can just look at these two candles right here. And I said that this was indecision. Decidedly on Tuesday, it was like, you know what, I'm going to move higher. Today it moved higher. We're sitting on top the 5. We're above the 13. We're above the 50. And if we put up the SMAs on this, we can look and see we're also sitting on top the 200-day with potentially the 20 crossing the 200-day sometime soon, the 50 crossing over that if it is to follow. Now, mind you, if we get that full movement, we have a dollar as very significant resistance, but that full movement from this last uptrend that we got could take us up to $1.17 per share, which is pretty darn massive from where we're at right now. We closed at about 88 cents. So I know $1.17 doesn't sound like much, but give yourself, we'll call it 89 cents. 11 cents take you to the dollar, another 17 cents beyond that. That's 28 cents up from where we're at right now. And that's significant because that's like a 30% climb. Here you go. I'll put the ruler on here to give you the number 31.87. So just a little bit over 30% move. If we're able to hit that, we got excellent momentum on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, we got excellent momentum. And on the monthly, it's rising, but it is still bearish. So this could still be a somewhat short-term trend for us. That monthly chart's really one to be inspired, and it starts with the daily and the weekly, and they are both looking ripe for us. Just now moving into bullish territory with some volume movement, getting things started, and still some somewhat elevated volume over what we had during this consolidation period before this run-up that we just got. All right, into the big stuff. REKR up 11.11% today. It hit my price target of 161. It closed 1 penny below my price target. As a matter of fact, it went all the way up to $1.70. So based off this triangle pattern that we have, there's the movement up to $1.61. I said watch resistance at $1.21. When we were able to break it, we found support at $1.40. We took that rocket ship. I said yesterday, today's probably going to be another day up for us after that massive outsized volume that we got that we haven't seen anything greater since all the way back in December of 2024. We got that move today, took us up to that $1.61. Now maybe it might settle a little bit. We'll have to watch and see. We are now solidly into overbought territory. So thank you, REKR, for your service. I really do appreciate it. And it was really nice to make 150% off you yesterday. I really look forward to more profitability out of you in the future. I snagged some shares from them, which might have some opportunity lost if it continues to climb higher. However, it can go up to $1.70, and that's actually my break even, which is actually oddly coincidental between where this went up to, because I chose the $1.50 strike and I got 20 cents, turns into $20 for buying those 100 shares of it. Just a little bit. It is a penny stock. I wasn't going to throw a ton of money at a stock like this one, but I do enjoy it. And we also, if I take down all these lines and stuff, you can take a look at the moving averages on here that we might get that 20 over the 200 and the 50 over the 200, signaling a much larger move over a longer time frame. We'll see if we come back and settle and we retest that 200-day. If we do, maybe I'll grab a few more shares. And I'll tell you what, I'll probably, if I'm holding on to my 100 shares still, what I'll do is I'll probably sell another call against it, maybe at another rip. We'll see. That's usually the best time to do it is at the top if you're going to sell call options. Once again, that options course down in the description, Stockmo Academy. Check it out. Use code word doctor. And then finally, BBAI was actually the best performer today. I said, watch this one. Yesterday, I said, watch it. It's down, but it's not out. We found support at the 20 SMA, the simple moving average, with outsized volume outstripping anything that we got during this movement when I said, hey, keep on watching this one. I think May 20th is the most recent time that I started that coverage, and today was the biggest volume yet. And we also closed above 425, which is this 0.236 level. We could see this thing up closer to 480, which is that next Fibonacci extension level that we have on this one. Maybe as soon as tomorrow. We'll have to watch and see. And we did get put strongly back inside this bull channel right now. It's a very, very heartening thing to see. As a matter of fact, if I move this up here, it's an even better look than what I had before. I like that even more than what we previously had. So BBAI, be on the lookout for that one. Still, absolutely, even after that 12% move, even after all this run so far, it could definitely potentially have a further run on top of it, especially with the background market bias. If we stay bullish for the markets, which I think non-farm payrolls has a good chance of still being strong. I think unemployment still has a good chance of being strong. I think initial jobless claims tomorrow at 8:30 with continuing jobless claims probably won't be surprising. If it is, fine, we'll deal with it. The Trump stuff, June 5th, Yeah, there's a filing date. Maybe we don't find out more yet, in which case then we kick down the can down the road a little bit for that one, but we'll watch and see. We have inflation reports coming up in the weeks following, and then we also have CPI, PPI, and then we also have the Fed meeting as well. I believe June 18th is the date that takes place, and we'll find out if we get a more dovish Fed by that point in time, something leaning towards more easy monetary policy, because if they give us that, and we'll have to toss in the nuance of the Trump tariff drama and all that kind of stuff, but a more dovish Fed will certainly be more bullish for us if they say, we think that now's an appropriate time so we don't get caught behind on things. Inflation is not really proving to be as much of a problem as we thought it was. We'll have to watch and see what they say. They can really give any commentary on that, and we're going to have to respond. In the meantime, I have the technicals that tell us how the market is interpreting the different news that comes out, and we don't have to be first. Being first is what I found normally gets me burned more oftentimes than it helps me to win. I want to be somebody who rides the wave. I want to surf on top of those waves, whether that wave is taking us up or down. Either way, I want to be able to move right along with it and be able to benefit, build the alpha in my portfolio, lead into financial freedom, and really secure my family for not just this generation, but also the next generation and the generation after that. Generational wealth is the ultimate goal, my friends. Down in the description, find the link for that Discord. Like I said, code word doctor when you sign up the earner tier gets you 50% off your first month. Try it out, see what you think. I think you're going to love, just like the thousands of members already do that are over there. And if you want to build your knowledge base, really invest in yourself through learning more about technical analysis and options trading, find the link for Stockmo Academy. Click on that, sign up. Once again, code word doctor works all the same. Also, bundling the course is going to give you the best value on top of that as well. Guys, thanks for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.